Sam Flynn has always been interested in how computer systems work. His father developed them himself and loved to tell stories about the brave virtual warrior Tron who fought for users. Kevin tells his son that together with this warrior, they built a unique system for the programs. But since the man himself cannot be there all the time, he created his digital clone and called it Clue. The three of them lived in a wonderful system, but one day something bad happened. Kevin stops the story because it is time for him to go to work. He says goodbye to his son and disappears without a trace. The man cannot be found. Sam is left an orphan. Kevin's partners run his company, although his friend and comrade Alan Bradley assures that the man simply stepped over the digital dimension. Sam grows up as a motorcycle racing enthusiast. One late evening, he arrives at the corporate building when a presentation of a new product is being prepared there. The guy picks up the code to the safe door and gets inside. Sam goes through the system room and uploads a new program to the public. The meeting sees a dog image instead of the new program logo and realizes that their product is now available to everyone for free. At this time, a security guard catches up with Sam on the roof of a skyscraper, but the guy jumps down. Sam opens a parachute and descends onto a busy street, but hangs on a pole and falls into the hands of the police. Later, his father's friend Alan Bradley comes to his house and gives the guy a message received on a pager from Flynn's old arcade. Sam goes there and inspects the empty hall. He discovers a secret room with a working computer behind the Tron slot machine. Sam tries to figure out the system and accidentally activates a laser that digitizes him. Thus, Sam gets into his father's cyber universe. There, protective programs grab him and move him deep into the system. Sam cannot believe in the reality of what is happening, but there are several more people with him. The guard examines everyone, and some are sent for correction. Others are sent straight to the games. Sam prepares for the gladiator games and is transported to a room where 4 programs equip the guy and install a disc with a personal program on his back. Sam finds himself in the arena. And then an opponent appears who knocks the guy down with a glowing disc. The second opponent catches this disc and destroys the enemy. Sam begins to understand what he needs to do. In the end, he wins and hopes that now he can leave, but the game manager transfers Sam to the next level with 2 discs at once. The guy accepts the fight, but loses. He is identified as a user, which causes a noise in the stands and surprises the main spectator, who turns out to be the leader of this world, Clue. He orders the guy to be brought to him. Sam is perplexed because this is his father, however, who has not aged since the day they parted. The man is surprised by his appearance and behaves coldly. He says that the guy will never go home again. Clue says that he is not his father and intends to do to him the same thing he once did to Kevin. Later, Clue forces Sam to compete in motorcycle racing. The guy enters the race. Soon he realizes that the only way to defeat Clue's team is as a pair and persuades one of the participants. The guys deal with several opponents until Clue appears in front of Sam. Sam sees an enemy rushing towards him and prepares for a collision. Suddenly, a car stops next to him and the driver orders him to get in. Sam jumps in and the car rushes away from the arena. Behind the wheel is a girl named Cora. She takes him outside the territory controlled by Clue. After a while, she delivers him to a room where a lonely man lives. Sam sees his father. This Kevin looks old and hugs his son. The fact is that several thousand cycles have already passed in the network world, and he has long since stopped hoping to meet his son. Cora introduces Sam to his father's home, where he spent all his recent years. Later, they meet for lunch, where Sam tells his father about his life after his disappearance. Sam doesn't understand why his father abandoned him. Kevin explains to his son that Alan Bradley once created Tron for the old system, but Kevin dragged him here to guard the system. Clue was originally his brainchild, programmed to create a perfect world. Together, they built a utopia, but when it seemed that it was impossible to do better, a strange thing happened. Intelligent beings, isomorphs, a new form of life with a highly developed root code and electronic DNA arose in the system on their own. Kevin wanted to present this miracle as a gift to all people. However, Clue was sure that isomorphic beings had no place in his perfect system because they were not perfect. He started a rebellion and destroyed everyone. Tron then stood up for Kevin and he never saw him again. Kevin tried to escape, but did not have time to return before the portal to the real world closed. Now the portal is open, but it will not last long. It consumes a lot of energy, and like a safe, it can only be opened from the outside, which Sam accidentally did. It turns out that Clue sent a message to Alan's pager to lure Sam into the network and open the portal. The second stage of the plan was to seize Kevin's disc. Without his disc, no one will be able to exit the system. If Clue gets into the imperfect outside world and decides to remake it to suit his vision, it is unknown how bad it will end. Sam demands to immediately run to Clue and fix the situation, but Kevin has long since given up and cannot resist the clone. Sam tries to persuade Cora to help him, but the girl obeys Kevin in everything. But a little later, she gives the guy the coordinates of Zeus, who might help. Sam goes back to the network at the coordinates given to him. Kevin finds out about this and is going to go after his son. Sam ends up at the end of the line club, where he meets Castor, who takes him to his office. Clue and his guards arrive at Sam's father's empty home. The leader recalls the agreement to jointly fix the world. At this time, Castor tells Sam about Zeus, who he is. He shows the way to the teleporter, but another disc and clothes are still needed. At this moment, the club is attacked by Clue's guards, who were summoned by Zeus. Sam engages in battle with them. Cora and Kevin come to help. The girl loses her arm and goes into hibernation, and Zeus gets Kevin's disc. The three of them escape using the elevator. Kevin is furious because he warned his son, but he listens to Sam and offers to escape on board the solar sailboat transport program, which is heading to the portal. Kevin reanimates Cora and restores her arm. Sam learns that she is the last of the isomorphs. Meanwhile, Clue comes to the club and learns of the escape. He takes Kevin's disc from Zeus and destroys him along with the club. At this time, Cora comes to her senses and tells how Kevin saved her when Clue became mad. Then she listens with admiration to Sam's stories about the outside world. It turns out that instead of a portal, the heroes end up on Clue's huge ship, where he fixes and reassigns the programs. Cora enters the battle and sacrifices herself to allow Sam and Kevin to reach the portal. Kevin sees how the fighter takes her prisoner and recognizes him as the corrected Tron. Meanwhile, Clue activates Kevin's disc when Cora is brought to him. Clue promises to fix them and turns to his army, which he created to capture the real world. At this time, Sam sneaks into Clue's office. He takes his father's disc and saves Cora. Kevin hijacks a lightship, and all three fly away to the portal. Clue and his programs, including the former Tron, fly after them. After a fierce firefight, the Clue's fighter prepares to shoot down the heroes, but at the last moment remembers that he is Tron and begins to protect the users. He rams the enemy ship. Clue falls but takes a spare fighter from Tron and flies away. Tron sinks in a sea of simulations. The heroes get to the portal and meet Clue. Kevin tries to negotiate with him, but his clone does not want to hear anything. They start a fight. Sam and Cora manage to leave. Clue takes Kevin's disc and sees that it is actually Cora's disc. Kevin's disc ended up in Sam's hands. The couple uses it as a key to enter the portal, while Kevin sacrifices himself. He erases Clue's code and is also destroyed during the reintegration of the system, along with Clue and his army. Sam returns to the real world, copies this virtuality to a memory card, and turns off the computer. Then the guy comes out of the secret room and meets Alan. Sam appoints him chairman of the board of directors of his company. He then goes outside where Cora is waiting for him. The pair ride away on a motorcycle, and the girl sees her first sunrise in the real world.